Hi, welcome to Fiction Fingers Fairy Channel. Please subscribe to this channel for more interesting stories, and don't forget to like and share this video. Thank you. The long-awaited day had finally arrived. Suzy gave birth to Rachel and Brian's son, whom they named Willy. As they held their newborn baby in their arms, tears of joy streamed down Rachel's cheeks. "He's perfect, Suzy. Thank you for everything," Rachel said, her voice filled with emotion as she looked at Suzy with gratitude. Suzy smiled warmly, her eyes shining with happiness. "He's a beautiful baby, Rachel. I'm so glad I could help you both fulfill your dream of becoming parents," she replied, her heart overflowing with joy. Rachel and Brian spared no expense in ensuring that Suzy received the best care possible during her stay at the hospital. "We want you to be comfortable, Suzy. You've done so much for us," Brian said, his voice filled with appreciation as he arranged for Suzy to be placed in a VIP ward. Suzy was deeply touched by their thoughtfulness and generosity. "Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Rachel. I feel truly blessed to have been a part of this journey with you," she said, her voice filled with gratitude. Throughout her time in the hospital, Suzy received special treatment and care, thanks to Rachel and Brian's arrangements. From luxurious accommodations to personalized attention from the medical staff, Suzy felt like a queen during her stay. "I've never felt so pampered in my life," Suzy remarked, a smile lighting up her face as she reclined comfortably in her VIP room. Rachel and Brian spent every moment they could with Suzy and baby Willy, cherishing the precious moments as a new family. "We owe everything to you, Suzy. You've given us the greatest gift of all," Rachel said, her voice filled with love and gratitude as she looked at Suzy with admiration. Suzy's heart swelled with pride and happiness as she watched Rachel and Brian dote on their newborn son. "I'm just happy to have been able to help," she replied, her eyes shining with tears of joy. As they celebrated the arrival of baby Willy, Rachel, Brian, and Suzy knew that their bond would forever be cherished. Together, they had overcome obstacles and experienced the miracle of new life, forging a connection that would last a lifetime. During the 3 months in the hospital, Suzy lovingly breastfed baby Willy, nurturing him with care and affection. Rachel and Brian watched with gratitude as Suzy dedicated herself to Willy's well-being. "Thank you, Suzy, for everything you've done for Willy," Rachel expressed, her voice filled with heartfelt appreciation. Suzy smiled warmly, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment at having played a part in Willy's early life. "It's been my pleasure, Rachel. Willy is such a joy," she replied, her eyes shining with affection for the baby she had grown to love. After 3 months and ensuring Suzy's full recovery, Rachel and Brian made the decision to bring Willy home. Rachel extended an invitation for Suzy to stay temporarily in their home, as Brian would assist Suzy in enrolling in college. "We would love for you to stay with us, Suzy. It's the least we can do after all you've done for us," Rachel insisted, her sincerity evident. Suzy's eyes filled with gratitude at Rachel's offer. "Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it more than you know," she expressed, feeling overwhelmed by their kindness. As they prepared to embark on this new chapter together, Rachel, Brian, and Suzy felt a sense of excitement and anticipation for the future. "We're so grateful to have you with us, Suzy. You're part of our family now," Brian said, his voice filled with warmth and gratitude. Suzy smiled, feeling a deep sense of belonging as they journeyed home together. "Thank you for everything, Rachel, Brian. I'm truly blessed to be a part of your lives," she said, her heart filled with joy and gratitude. 2 weeks after Suzy moved into Rachel and Brian's home during a peaceful dinner together, Rachel broke the news to Suzy about her enrollment in a nursing college. "Suzy, we've managed to arrange your enrollment in a nursing college," Rachel announced, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Suzy's eyes widened in surprise and gratitude. "Thank you so much, Rachel. I can't believe it's finally happening," she exclaimed, her voice filled with excitement. Rachel continued, "The classes start next week, but the college is quite far from here. It's about a 3-hour drive." Suzy hesitated, feeling torn between her desire for independence and her appreciation for Rachel and Brian's support. "I think I should go on my own," she suggested tentatively, wanting to prove her capability. However, Rachel and Brian were adamant about accompanying her. "We want to make sure you get there safely, Suzy. You're like family to us and we care about your well-being," Brian insisted, his tone firm but gentle. Suzy felt touched by their concern and love. "Thank you, Rachel, Brian, I really appreciate your kindness," she said, feeling a surge of warmth in her heart. Despite Suzy's insistence, Rachel and Brian were determined to see her off to college. "We'll make it a road trip, Suzy, it'll be fun," Rachel suggested with a smile, trying to lighten the mood. Suzy couldn't help but smile at Rachel's enthusiasm. "All right, if you insist," she agreed, feeling grateful for their unwavering support. As they finished dinner, the three of them began to plan the trip to Suzy's college. Rachel and Brian's affectionate gestures towards Suzy made her feel cherished and loved, solidifying their bond even further. Finally, the day arrived for Suzy to be sent off to college. Brian took the wheel, with Rachel sitting beside him, and Suzy and Willy settled in the back seat. "I'm going to miss you, Willy," Suzy said softly, her voice tinged with a hint of sadness. Arriving at the college after registering Suzy's name, they proceeded to her dorm room. As they helped Suzy unpack her belongings and settle in, Rachel took a moment to convey some heartfelt words. "Take care of yourself, Suzy. Study hard and make the most of this opportunity," she said, her tone filled with maternal concern. Brian chimed in, his voice gentle yet firm. "I'll be depositing your monthly allowance, Suzy. And if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to call us. You're not alone in this," he reassured, his eyes reflecting his genuine care and support. Suzy nodded, feeling a mixture of gratitude and apprehension at the thought of being on her own. "Thank you, Rachel, Brian. I'll do my best," she promised, her voice filled with determination. As they prepared to leave, Rachel hugged Suzy tightly, their affectionate gestures conveying their love and support. "We'll always be here for you, Suzy. Don't forget that," Rachel said, her voice filled with sincerity. Suzy watched as Rachel, Brian, and Willy walked away, a lump forming in her throat. "I'll miss you all," she whispered, feeling a pang of sadness at the thought of being apart from her newfound family. As they drove away, Rachel and Brian couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and apprehension at leaving Suzy behind. "She'll be fine, Rachel. She's a strong young woman," Brian reassured, his voice tinged with confidence. Rachel nodded, her heart heavy with emotion. "I know, Brian, but it's hard not to worry," she admitted, her eyes reflecting her love and concern for Suzy's well-being. With a final glance back at the college, Rachel and Brian drove off, knowing that Suzy was embarking on a new chapter in her life, filled with challenges and opportunities. And though they would miss her dearly, they took comfort in the knowledge that their bond would endure, no matter the distance. Alone in her dorm room, Suzy couldn't stop expressing her gratitude. Her encounter with Rachel at the cafe where she worked had paved the way for an easier path to continue her education in college. "I'm so grateful for meeting Rachel," Suzy whispered to herself, reflecting on how different her life would have been if they hadn't crossed paths. Without Rachel's intervention, Suzy might still be working at the cafe, scrimping and saving every penny to afford college tuition. "Rachel's kindness has changed everything for me," Suzy murmured, feeling overwhelmed with gratitude for the opportunities she now had. But it wasn't just the academic opportunities that Suzy was thankful for. "I am blessed to have Rachel and Brian as my family," Suzy thought, her heart swelling with appreciation. "They care for me and look out for me in ways I never imagined." As Suzy counted her blessings, she realized that she was no longer alone in the world. "I have a family now," she whispered, feeling a sense of warmth and belonging wash over her. "Rachel and Brian have become my pillars of support, my guiding lights in this journey called life." With tears of gratitude in her eyes, Suzy whispered a silent prayer of thanks for all the blessings she had received. "Thank you, God, for bringing Rachel and Brian into my life," she said softly, her voice filled with emotion. As she settled into her new life at college, Suzy felt a newfound sense of purpose and determination. "I will make the most of this opportunity," she vowed to herself, feeling empowered by the love and support she had found in Rachel and Brian. Through their kindness and generosity, Rachel and Brian had given Suzy a second chance at life. "I will never forget what they've done for me," Suzy promised, her heart overflowing with gratitude. As she drifted off to sleep that night, Suzy knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, she would face them with courage and resilience, knowing that she had Rachel and Brian by her side. "I am truly blessed," she whispered, a contented smile gracing her lips. Before going to bed that night, Rachel whispered a prayer in her heart. "I hope Suzy will be all right at college," she thought, feeling a mixture of concern and hope. Gratitude filled her heart as she reflected on being able to assist Suzy in pursuing her education. As she thought about Suzy, Rachel couldn't help but feel a sense of fulfillment. "Through Suzy, my dream of becoming a mother has been realized," she acknowledged, her heart brimming with gratitude for the unexpected ways in which life had blessed her. Rachel's thoughts drifted to the future, filled with hope and anticipation. "I pray that Suzy will find success and happiness in her studies," she murmured, her words a silent plea for Suzy's well-being. With a final prayer for Suzy's safety and success, Rachel closed her eyes, feeling a sense of peace wash over her. To be continued.